Growing up, Tommy Orange didn't see himself as a writer.
I didn't really focus in school or was not a good student in elementary, middle school, high school. Went to community college, and then I went to kind of a trade school for sound engineering.
But after struggling to find a job, he landed at a bookstore.
We didn't get much business, so I was, being paid to read in a sense, and found fiction for the first time there, and realized I wanted to not only read as much as I could, but write as much as I could. I was told, something like the Sand Creek Massacre story from my dad growing up. This was a story that we heard. And I was told another version of history at school, and that made me feel a lot of things. I have a white mother and a Native father, but I didn't know what I thought about them until I really started writing and getting serious into something like a novel that is a lot of thinking through character and story and action.
There became a breakout novel, portraying the often unseen lives of Native people in urban settings.
Native people have been living in cities since the 1950s, and there, as far as I can tell, is the only really big representation in books that I've seen that has gotten that much attention. The reception from Native people has been sort of exuberant, people really excited to be seen, and for this story that they know hasn't been told enough is being paid attention to.
His follow-up novel, Wandering Stars, published in 2024, took an unexpected turn.
I hadn't intended for there to be a historical piece. I started writing the sequel, and a year into writing it, I was in Sweden for the Swedish translation of There.
While in Sweden, a visit to a museum changed everything.
The museum curator was giving me this awkward tour where he was like, "We know we shouldn't have your stuff, and we're sorry, but do you want to see it?" While I was being shown these things behind glass, I saw a newspaper clipping about Southern Cheyennes. I'm enrolled in the Cheyenne Arapaho tribes of Oklahoma, but I'm something like that. And I fell down this rabbit hole of information that led me to the origin story or the blueprint for the boarding school system. And then my tribe was sort of, at the center point. Half of the prisoners at this prison castle where the boarding school idea came from were Southern Cheyenne people. So that was a really surprising piece of information I didn't know about.
His novel, Wandering Stars, opens with the 1864 Sand Creek Massacre in Colorado, shedding light on its lasting impact in the forced assimilation of Native Americans. Tommy hopes to make sure this history is acknowledged and remembered.
After the massacre, there were celebrations in downtown Denver with people on stages holding dismembered body parts. And I think what I want to get at here is the participation of regular people celebrating the massacre. These are regular Americans. I think this is sometimes parts of history we don't like, or we don't think about, or we tend to glance over. And I'm grateful for people who are engaging with this kind of information. And these are the people that history does not look at, but these people are actively wanting to engage with a narrative that is pretty much the opposite of the main one running in the American media and the general thing that people are talking about now, or at least that seems to be taking over slowly.
Tommy says writing is both an act of imagination and a way to confront difficult truths.
I'm a fiction writer, so part of that is imaginative leaps are required. That includes, empathy. What would it feel like? The wondering of what it would feel like to be this kind of person, to be this character in this situation. That's all imagination.
His work has earned him many high honors, including being a finalist for the 2019 Pulitzer Prize for fiction.
When it first happened, it was very emotional and amazing, and there was a lot of awards that it was nominated for and that There got, and that was all incredible.
Tommy wants to inspire future writers and reminds them that rejection is part of the journey.
The only story that you alone could tell is important, and to be that specific. And that comes from a place of your own personal knowing that no one else could write.